What's something you swore you'd never be into that you are now mildly obsessed with? Reddit. Yep. I started off on Reddit checking in every 1 or 2 days. Now I on here more than almost any other site. I came here around 10 years ago wondering what all the fuss was about. And here I am 10 years later, having probably spent 3,600 of those 3,650 days on Reddit. And I still don't know what all the fuss is about. My phone. I never wanted one until I got one. Now my eyes are glued to the screen. God, when flip phones starting becoming common, I was in the army. I had to lie about not having one because of all the hey guess what guys surprise formation at any given time. Days off included. It was easier to lie and say you weren't home if they tried to call your landline. To this day I get anxiety when my phone rings. I almost never touch it. Cigarettes. Seriously. Don't smoke them. It's so easy to think you're in control and then next moment, without warning, you're addicted. Some people look at me like I'm crazy cause I've somehow avoided it all these years. The only surefire way is to never start. And I plan to keep it that way. 31 and never smoked a day in my life. Naps. I used to think that sleep was the greatest waste of time. But now I can't get enough. It's like a weird high. Dude, I take naps with my 11-month-old son on my days off in the afternoon. It's the best. And when he wakes up, looks around and sees me and smiles. Totally melts my manly heart. The Sims. AI is so shady, but I love the game. Ditto. First time I played it was at a friend's house, but it was basically her backseat gaming the whole time, which you wouldn't think is possible on a sandbox type game like The Sims. But trust me, it is. A few months later my sister buys it on the Xbox and I started to play it when I had nothing else to do. Now when it's a weekend or a snow day, I'll bet up at 5 am playing The Sims all day. I find my obsession funny considering I'm sitting around playing a life simulator instead of actually going out and doing stuff in real life. Haha. Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. In reality, becoming an adult nerd is so easy. Then again, I'm sure like 98% of people play some form of board or computer game compared to other generations. The Last Airbender. I swear when I saw the commercials and was like, an arrow on a kid? Looks dummmmmb. Little did I know it would shift my entire scope of how I looked at life. Zuko. The effing single best character development arc I've ever seen in my life. Pink. The color. Also pink. The person. Also pink. The Floyd. Sparkling water. I hated it at first and thought it tasted like static. But the second time I tried it, it was really good. I think I'm addicted to it now. Gave a vote just for the description, tasted like static. You. Blushes thanks. The Netflix show. Well, not at present, but cigarettes. Was a smoker for 7 years but decided to quit last year when my son was born. Well done. Cracking my knuckles bones. Now I spend a lot of time cracking my joints and get frustrated when they don't click. They also now practically ache if I don't do it. Once when I was 7 I had the flu and was lying on the couch with part of the handrest as my pillow. I had to sneeze but I was bundled up so only my head went forward and it cracked. I said that hurt a lot. Never doing that again. Cut to me now at 19 cracking my fingers. Knuckles. Hands. Wrists. Elbows, yes elbows. Shoulders. Neck. Spine and toes. It's become a fixation. Like when people who quit smoking have an oral fixation cause they need their mouth to be moving, which is why a lot of them gain weight after quitting smoking. I now have this hand fixation. If I'm talking to someone or watching something and not paying attention, I start cracking my fingers and knuckles one by one. It's a dumb habit and not bad for me, but I feel stiff if I don't do it. Books. I hated them from young age because at school we were forced to read most boring and uninterested books you could think of. Until one day I was given a book for Christmas present. Me being appreciative given a go, and now I love them. I used to brag I've never read a book in my life. Now I can't even understand how much of an idiot I was. School ruined my unknown passion without me knowing. I even consider writing a fantasy novel. Horse whispering. I don't even have horses. I have to sneak around horse farms at night and whisper at them over the fence. I have a real problem. It's only a problem when they start whispering back. Pokémon Go. I swore I was playing it because my son loves Pokémon and it was a fun thing for us to do. But I play it way more than he cares about. It's a strange one. Because with the adventure sync, it just rewards walking. If I need to grab something from the shops and it isn't raining, I just walk down there and back and boom. Nearly an egg hatched. Got the girlfriend into it and now we have each community day saved on our joint calendar the second they are announced. Anime, manga for a little bit. Kinda over it now cause none of them interest me that much. I feel like everyone has that anime phase when they swore they wouldn't. I for example was unironically calling my friend a weeb for watching Sword Art Online a couple years back. And now I have a small shelf dedicated to my Gunpla model kits. Whoops. Running, cycling, and working out in general. Never thought of myself as athletic. Then I ran a marathon for reasons that are unclear to me. Now I work out every day. Surprised to see running this far down. I have always had some sort of outdoor activity that I kept up with. But I had always thought running was just boring pain for no reason. I had convinced myself that I could only exercise if I found the activity intrinsically fun. I quit nicotine in June of 2019 and started cycling every day to channel all that newfound energy and found that I enjoy the buzz from cardio quite a bit. Traffic and time constraints led to me going for a run and I've loved it ever since. Compared to cycling, you can get a good workout much faster and with fewer logistical hurdles. There's also a sort of catharsis to doing something that your body is evolved to do, and that is so quintessentially human. I think a lot of people who hate running just go way too hard and don't realize that when you first start out, most people should be going really slow and not very far. I'm not sure if this counts, but I was never big into sports except hockey, and I certainly never thought I'd be active in a role in sports until a gym teacher approached me at school. I'm a high school teacher and asked me to do the basketball announcements and play-by-play for our varsity home games. I know very little about basketball, but she kept claiming I had a great voice, so I said yes, mostly because I don't know how to say no. I've done it for one season and doing it again now, and honestly I enjoy it. It's mildly stressful because I still don't know the ref calls that well, and I rely a lot on the book person to make sure I get calls right, and I keep things vague so I'm less apt to make a mistake, like I don't call points on baskets, but I kind of enjoy the power of having a microphone in front of a ton of people. Seinfield. My entire family raved over it to the point of annoyance. I started watching it and now I'm the one constantly quoting it. I hated the first episode one ever saw. Jerry accepts a pen. Then they spend the rest of the episode complaining that he took the pen. It was annoying as hell. Later on I loved the show. Raspberry Pis. Got one for Christmas and I've been fucking with it ever since. Shout out to Pie Hole. Why were you opposed originally? 69ing. The idea of it grossed me out. Tried it for the first time on accident. Now it's my favorite type of foreplay. How does one accidentally 69? Marijuana. Me too. Subsequently, ice cream. Guys with long hair. We are getting married. What? All of them? Punk rock. Friend took me to a concert onces. The mosh was the best thing ever. All I noticed is that I run around in a high-top steel toe boots and a mohawk few months later. Same, my dude. Was a strictly metal fan until a year ago. Now I'm going seeing Anti-Flag next month. Mathematics. It's a shame that schools teach math their way and penalize kids for finding the wrong way to the answer. The beauty of math to me is the infinite pathways that can lead to the same answer. Politics. Better than any reality show I've ever seen. Well, you certainly picked the most entertaining season to jump into. Star Wars. I jokingly saw The Rise of the Skywalker because I thought I would never like them, and here I am having spent this last week watching every Star Wars movie made. What's your thoughts on all three trilogies? In what order did you watch them? Classic rock. I am a long-time indie fan. And while I am still finding new bands, I've been listening to a lot of Neil Young and stuff. Okay. But Neil is definitely the indie rock of classic rock. He collaborated with Devo, had Tim Pope directed videos, and brought Sonic Youth on the road with him. Still, it's important and good to break down musical boundaries. Keep classic rockin' in the free world. And be sure to check out Thin Lizzy if you haven't already. Making comments on Reddit in hopes of getting good karma for them. I upvoted you, bro. Funko Pops. At first I looked at one and could not understand for the life of me why these things sell for so much. Then I saw a few DBZ Pops and scooped them up as Neato desk toys. Then it was any DBZ Pop I could find. Then Overwatch became the second set I collect. And so it goes. Now I have close to 100 Pops filling up 2 bookcases, and more cool sets keep getting released. Help. Why? They're so ugly. Gay sex. That shiz hits different though. I never thought I'd get into Reddit beyond occasionally lurking, but over the past week or so I've found it to be very healing. New user here who always thought of it as a sketchy place. But I agree. Certainly depends on where I hang out though. Super careful not to click links in those "what subreddit should not exist" threads. And hit the random button with caution. Very glad to have learned of iBleach and humans being brothers as a quick remedy. TikTok. I got it jokingly and I use it regularly. I've become the very thing I swore to destroy. Taylor Swift. I'm a 33-year-old guy who loves rap, hip-hop and grime music. I fucking love Taylor Swift. Got into 1984 and never looked back. I usually have her live stuff on YouTube in the background whilst I'm working. It's very calming.